All right, guys, those of you that just tuned in, what we're going to do now is Knight and myself are going to go into free flight, and I'm just going to show him some things in the cockpit, and then immediately after that, we're going to maybe join up and do a Vandal Swarm co-op. And what we're going to do here is just talk about the cockpit a little bit with him. Are you loading up yet, or are you still loading?
Nope, nope, I'm good.
Okay, you're in.
Of course, I come back and it's ready to go.
Okay, well,
Let me turn my volume down a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, what I would do is kind of just move a little bit away from the beam of death.
Yeah.
So, and that way, also, when you get away from it, you can actually hear more because it's making a lot of noise.
Okay.
Which you shouldn't be able to hear in space, by the way. But there is supposed to be a future setting where you can turn off, make realistic sounds. All right. Now, you're flying mouse and keyboard, right?
Yeah, it's the first time I've used the mouse, so.
Right. That's what I wanted to show you. When you move your mouse around on your screen, okay, you got your little circle reticle moving around.
Yep.
Right, and when you move it too far to the left, your ship will move, or too far to the right, your nose of your ship will move. Same thing up and down. Okay, so what you're going to do, there is like a little wiggle room in the middle, right? If you roll it around,
Yeah,
your ship doesn't go anywhere. Okay, but when you go too far, like off of your, more than an inch or so, then it starts to fly in that direction. You just need to get used to that. Okay. If you want to roll, you press your A and D keys. A will roll you left, and D will roll you right. Okay, so if you need to roll, do that, and then you point with your mouse where you're going to go. Okay, but you don't even have to roll ever. It's just an option. Okay.
Yeah, I like rolling.
Yeah, rolling good sometimes.
Yeah.
And then your W and S key are your throttle, up and down. But before you do anything with your throttle, what we're going to do before you do it, what we're going to do is we're going to double tap the W, and then we're going to look at what happens to your throttle, and then double tap the S.
Okay.
Go ahead, double tap the W.
Okay. And now double tap the S.
You notice it puts you at 100%?
Yeah.
And then double tap the S, yeah. And you notice it takes a second before you stop. You don't stop on a dime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to really concern ourselves with the caps lock, because that's going to uncouple you or decouple you. You can go ahead and click it a few times and just kind of see the caps lock. See how that uncouples and couples you?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so that's pretty much basic flight mode right there. Okay. Now, you're stationary, right?
Yep.
What happens when you press tab?
I kind of zoom in and zoom out a little bit.
Okay, when you zoom back, look around. Tab gets you locked in place, and then when you hit tab, it gives you free look, so you can look around.
Oh, cool.
Without your ship going all crazy, okay?
That's really cool.
Okay, and then most important, okay, is your shift. You can just press shift while you're stationary. Do you hear anything?
Yeah, it sounds like my thrusters or something kicked in.
That's exactly right. What it does is it gives additional boost power to all your thrusters. Okay, so do this. Okay, give me a slow turn to the right. I mean, just move the mouse where it's on your, what do they call that? Cross beam or whatever it is, your cockpit. There's a word for that beam there.
The A-post?
Sure. Okay.
Well, that's what it's called in the car. I don't know if that's what it's called in the plane.
I think it is not that, but I think it is something similar to that. So just put your crosshair there, and that should put you in a gentle spin, where you're yawing to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now press the boost. What are you doing there?
No, that was my dryer.
Okay, I was like, wow, what's going on there? No, press the boost. What happens to the boost?
Um,
Nothing, right? Okay.
yeah,
Because you okay, now try turning maximum to the right. Okay, so now you're spinning like really fast.
yeah.
Now boost. Okay, hold on. I don't notice it. I don't notice it on the yaw. Okay, I didn't notice it.
Yeah, I'm not noticing any real difference.
Okay, I don't really notice a difference right now, but I'm going to tell you when you're dogfighting, again, I guess that's because your weapons aren't charging, taking power away from your engines and stuff like that. But
Mm,
when you are in a turning war with your opponent and you need to turn just a little bit faster to get your guns on target, boost and it'll jerk you over to where you need to go. Okay, so you'll turn twice as fast when you boost. Just remember, you'll black out.
okay,
So you've got to be very careful about how often and how much you use it, up and down, and all that good stuff.
understood.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, so now another thing, just center your pickle or whatever it's called, and right on your crosshair,
Hmm.
and everything should stop moving.
Yep.
Okay, press F. I'm sorry. Okay, Foxtrot 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all part of your power scheme.
Okay,
Okay, so press F2.
okay.
All your weapons should appear.
Yeah, I see them.
Okay, you have weapon groups there. You got 1, 2, and 3,
Hmm.
and then you got your missiles down at the bottom.
I've only got
Uh,
weapons in group 1 and 2. Group 3 is empty.
yeah, same here. Same here. Uh, Now, there are ways to move weapons around. We're not going to discuss that right now. Something happening? Okay. All right. Now, on this screen, right, without moving, right,
Hmm.
press home. The home button.
Ah, okay. So now I got the pointer.
Now you got a crosshair, right, or a mouse pointer, right?
Yep.
Now you can select certain weapons and you can turn them on or turn them off. They should all be in weapon group 1 now, right?
What do you mean they should all be in weapon group 1?
All weapons are in both weapon group 1 and 2. When you highlight a weapon on weapon 1, you're going to see all your weapons there, right?
Uh,
Take your mouse pointer, point at the
yeah.
very first weapon.
Mine's acting kind of weird for some reason.
But anyway, you see like they have a box above them,
Yeah.
and one's filled in, one's not.
Yes.
Okay. When you click it, it should fill it in. Or turn it off. Turn it on, turn it off.
It's showing the blue circle when I click it, but nothing's happening.
Are you left clicking?
Yeah. When I click, the little circle shows up.
But the box above it doesn't change?
No.
Very weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting no change.
Okay, when you point at a weapon, what is it? You have your ship icon above it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Showing the 4 shields, all right?
Yep.
In the light blue, and then it shows the weapon you're selected right next to it.
It says select an item. It's blank.
Do you
So,
go to weapon group 2? Select the very first, point at the very first weapon. Do you have any weapons on your ship? Yeah.
yeah, I do, because they were firing a minute ago.
Okay.
Yeah, this is weird. Like nothing is happening.
Okay. Well, we're gonna move on from that. Go ahead and press home.
Okay.
That's gonna get you back to your flight where you can fly. So far, so good.
Yep. It's still
Okay.
showing the weapon screen on the left. Do you want me to keep that up? Don't
No,
worry,
that's
that's the last time it'll buzz.
yeah, no, that's fine. That's what's supposed to be there.
Okay.
Go ahead and hit F3 because remember we're back to the power management screen. We're going to hit F3.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to bring you to your shields.
Mm-hmm.
You have group 1, 2, and 3. You see the triangle?
Yep.
1 is weapons, 2 is shields, 3 is maneuvering, your thrusters. It should be dead center right now.
Yeah.
Press and hold the number 1 key. Not F1, just 1.
Yeah. Moved over into group 1.
Right. And if you press and hold the number 2 key and the number 3 key. Right?
That's all the way down in group 3. Yep.
Right. So you can move it around. So like let's say you go halfway between 3 and 2. You hold 3 all the way down, so it'll go down to 3.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So I've got
And
to
then
halfway
hold
between 3 and 2.
Right, and then if you press 1, it'll go straight towards number 1.
Yep.
Okay, so you can maneuver that. And that's where your energy is allocating shields. So the closer you put it to 1, the more power it's going to give to whatever it's closest to. So if you can split it between like 60-40 shields and guns, or however you want to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the quick way to do it on the fly. But if you got a little bit of time and you want to set it just right, go ahead and press home.
Okay.
It highlights it green, right?
Yep.
Gives you the mouse pointer.
It works perfectly on this one.
Okay, and that way now you can move it around however you want.
Yep. So group 1 is shields, group 2 is weapons, and group 3 is thrust?
No. 1 is weapons.
1 is weapons, 2 is shields, 3 is thrust.
Correct.
Okay.
And you can put it around. I like to keep it a little bit closer to weapons, but that's because I'll use a lot of energy weapons. If you're using low energy drain weapons, you might have a bigger shield. Or if you are out of weapons, you're just trying to live, you might go all G2. Or if you're trying to get out of there, you might go G3. Depends on how big the map is and how fast your ship is and all that good stuff. Press home to get back to out of that.
Understood.
Now F4, this is the one that's kind of tricky. Okay, F4, you got segment status, and you see the F, L, R, and B.
Mm-hmm.
The T and B. Okay, the whoa, I'm flying. I don't need to be flying. Hit home. There we go.
Okay.
Now when you're on the left, do you want front shields? Do you want back shields? Do you want left shields or right shields? You drag that around until you get your shields allocated where you want them.
I can see the shields changing on the ship.
Right. And if this ship had 6 shields, then the little top and bottom side bar would be lit up.
I see that.
Okay, but you don't have a top and bottom shield. It's going to stay in the middle. You just have front, left, right, and all that good stuff.
Does that mean that I'm unprotected on the top and the bottom?
I think that might be the case.
Hmm.
Or maybe the shields are semicircular, and so they cover the top and the bottom from the front and the back and the left and the right. You know what I mean?
That's what I was thinking, but
like an eggshell or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there are like some big ships, like the multi-cruise ships, like the Constellation, and like the other ships that are going to have separate shields that cover the top and bottom.
That makes sense.
Okay, so that's that. So now you go to home to get out of that. And then F1. F1 brings you back to your starting screen, which you normally are familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you look above your fighter, you'll see overall, weapon, power, and shield.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your F1, 2, 3, and 4 buttons.
Understood. If you don't mind, can we go back to F2? I would like to figure out what I was doing wrong here.
Okay, we're on F2 where it says weapons.
Yep.
It says select an item right next to your ship.
Mm-hmm.
press home.
Yeah, same as with the other screens, correct?
Yes.
Oh, I think I see what I did wrong.
Now you've got a mouse pointer.
Uh-huh.
You go to a weapon, and when you click on it, it'll either turn it on or it'll turn it off. And that helps assign weapons to certain weapon groups.
So I'm showing 1, 2, 3, and then on the
Yes.
bottom I'm showing MR and CM.
Yeah, those are your
And-
missiles.
Right. So if I try to click on any of them, nothing is happening for some reason. So either I'm doing something wrong or something's not working. So
Okay. Do you see a blue mouse pointer?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
same as the other two screens. The other two screens work perfectly.
Okay. Go to your weapon group 1.
Mm-hmm.
Highlight the very first weapon in that group. Does it change color? Like become a bright green instead of a dim green?
No. That's...
You have a color monitor. No, I'm playing.
I'm
Okay.
not crazy. I'm not crazy. It was working on the other ones.
You might have to restart or something eventually, after the patch or something. But yeah, this is what normally happens. Do you see some of the boxes have a dot inside of them and some do not?
Yeah, so my group 1, it shows
The turret.
yeah, that looks like the turret. It's rotated. It looks like the turret. It says 100%, and then it's got 2 boxes above it that are filled in.
Right. So whenever you press the 1 or maybe your left mouse button, your turret will fire.
Okay.
And then this number 2 would be your right mouse button.
Yeah. And that's the 1346. Yep.
And that would be your right. Now, if you wanted to, you could turn them off from 2. You could go up to 1 and turn them on, and that way when you fire your guns, all of them fire at the same time.
And all I would need to do would be to click them and they would turn off, and then click the ones on group 1, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, something's not working right here. At least my shields and my power are adjustable. Wonder why.
Yeah, later you can watch this video and you can see what I meant.
Okay. No, I trust you. I understand.
Yeah, you understand? Okay. Yeah. Cool. And by allocating, like I have on this ship right now, I've got guns in my nose, my wings, and my turret, right?
Okay.
I don't ever want to fire my nose guns, ever. So I just go into the weapon power and turn those guns off. Okay, just unclick them. And that way I'll fire my wings and my turret periodically, left and right, however I do it. And I'll only use the nose guns if I run out of everything and I just absolutely have to have some other kind of gun.
Okay.
The reason why I do that is because, like I said, I'm heavy energy and it's going to drain a lot of power if I'm just shooting into deep space. If I was using a joystick and everything was firing at the center crosshair, sure, I'd fire everything. But I'm not. I'm pointing, when I shoot at the circle. Okay, let me think. Something else let me get out of this page. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, you got the throttle, up and down, the roll. Your chaff and flares, right? It should be X to select your chaff or your flares, and then Z to actually launch it.
Oops, hang on, I gotta get out of home.
Right.
So X to select, you said?
That's only if once you get it selected, you'll never have to select it again. Just put it on flares. How do you know it's on flares? I don't know. They haven't figured that one out yet. But then when you press Z, it should launch it.
Yeah, and it says chaff.
Okay, hit X and then hit Z again.
Flare.
There you go. You always want to shoot flares when the Vandal are shooting missiles at you because theirs are heat seekers.
Now, I understand the concept behind that, but does that show up anywhere on the display? Because when I was doing that, I didn't actually see anything, except for when, of course, I fired them. But
You'll see incoming
nothing.
missile, right? It'll be in red. It'll be in your. You'll see incoming missile. It'll be in red. And it'll be flashing in your face.
Yep.
And then you hit flare.
Oh no! I meant when I select it, does anything show up on
Yeah,
the
that's what
display
I'm
to show
saying. They
that I
need to work
selected?
on that. No, they need to
Oh,
work on
okay,
that.
okay. I understand what you're saying.
But on the if you look at your bottom center screen, you got like a little Q and a number, and then 4 triangles and a number.
Mm-hmm.
Those are your chaff and flares.
I just fired my last chaff, so I see it.
Yeah, chaff should be probably the one on the right, I'm thinking.
So, what do you recommend using for incoming missiles? Both, or just
Always,
flares? Or
always flares.
okay, when
Only
is
be,
chaff?
only because the Vandal use heat-seeking missiles.
Okay,
Yeah, um, that's in this next patch that's coming out. They're going to introduce different missile types, but right now they're all heat seekers. So right now, just always use flares.
okay.
Okay, so I think we got it. So we should drop into a match and blow some stuff up. What do you think?
Sounds like fun.
Okay, so exit and go back to hangar.